Okay, welcome back. Today you have to buckle up because everything starts from landing page, and I'm gonna show you how I'm building my landing page, how I'm creating the copy that converts, show you my flows, frameworks, examples from the history as well from the history of advertising. Everything starts from the landing page, right? And just an example. Yeah, I don't have my mouse. It's like another mouse, so it sometimes just scrolls down very randomly. But anyway. So it's just an example of the different sections of the website and how they convert. Each stage here of the customer journey has certain conversion rate, and different copywriting techniques could be applied at each stage to increase the percentage that customer will go on to next stage, a prospect, and become effectively a paying customer. You're going to understand later, but each website kind of built in a certain structure, right? So with the goal to sell. So simple method to validate if your website has the clarity or structure is to run through the ground tests from the ground up. No matter your product, B2B SaaS, e-commerce, services, I'm coming on the landing page, and in the first 3-4 seconds, I want to understand what you're offering me. How will it make my life better? So direct IB transformation, and what do I have to do to get it? So, and I just ran through a couple cases like in Google search, right? So I just wrote immigration lawyer Tallinn because I live in Tallinn, and results are hilarious, but that's okay. So we got beacon in the legal world, authentic borderless innovative, just complete waste of space, right? At least you got the immigration law there, which I supposedly see, but also as well as all other services, maybe I could click, but they didn't show me the immigration law page. So again, no differentiation, nothing. Then apostilla, this no comments, looks like from late 90s. At least I have clear clear icons of like the messaging apps, but still nothing, right? Then Trinity, well-known legal agency. Again, I typed in English. We got here some personal page of Ramil Pardi. It's not about Ramil. I want to see what I can get. Maybe they write it there below, what he's providing, but it's not clear and it's already over too much, right? So too much information here. And yes, of course, I can switch to Estonian, from Estonian to English, but they already lost me, Nice to meet Ramil, of course, but again, I have a problem that I want to get solved, and I want to see that they can do that straight up in the first seconds. Here is a bit better. Immigration services in Estonia. At least clearly I can see what are they offering, but they don't speak about me. They don't speak about what I have to do. And yeah, important concepts that I have to skip because we're talking about landing pages and copy that converts. So segmentation, targeting, positioning, buyer personas, ADA model, USPs and benefits versus features. Those are all fundamental principles of packaging, so to say, that you have to know to come up with a killer copy. I'm just not going to go into it today. Okay, after we saw a couple examples, let's run through common problems, right? So we have unclear messaging that pretty much you have to say what you do in plain and simple language. Then there is obvious information overload that less is more, and you shouldn't drown your customers in bullet points all over. Then you shouldn't talk about yourself. It's about customers or prospects. Like, it's not about that gentleman Ramil. It's about me who has a problem. Then, of course, there's disconnect. So you have to know the audience and the problems. Lack of differentiations, stand out or get lost in the crowd. Complexity, keep it simple, stupid, famous quote of the OG of marketing. Gonna show you later. And of course, the mixed messaging. So across all channels, you have to be clear on what you're offering. And sometimes even employees, they get lost because so many landing pages talk about different stuff in different language. Fix this and you're ahead of the game. Couple good books that I can recommend. So by Donald Miller, for example, Building a Story of a Brand. He has really good frameworks there that I'm gonna show you. It's pretty much about making your customer a hero. and that you have to be a guide, not the star in this customer journey. Then obviously the international bestseller, the actual OG of advertising. And he talks Ogilvy. He talks about headlines that matter. So how you can capture attention with headlines the most, and how you can know your audience inside out as well. And then April Dumford has a really great podcast as well, YouTube channel, and I follow her on a newsletter. She talks a lot about the positioning and gives you different frameworks on positioning. So we got some other OG books like by Hopkins and by Sharp. Suggest you all of them. They're great. And since I touched a bit of the foundational historical books of advertising and marketing, how are they connected to landing pages? Because we can learn from the pros and old rules are still working, and we can see what tricks from the past are still working today. So learn from OGs, become OG, and a couple concepts from the past, that coupon codes and free trials and refund guarantees that we're actively implementing now, they came from 100 years before. And I want to go over a couple examples. Look at this. Palmolive, right? 1899 advertisement in the newspaper, and it literally looks like the landing page. You got the header, hero section. It's clear what they do. You grasp instantly, and on the right side below, you got like the text with description with address, like a bit of the history and brand story, so you can come and buy. Another good example is the freebie. So the guy just tries to lure the prospect in and will pay just for you to come. So coupons of a sort. They were also actually coupons. Like you could cut them from the newspaper and you could literally exchange them for the good. So they were right there. Also very old mechanism. Then again, just a bit of the freebies here. Also example of the lotteries and buy a pork and get a prize, right? So then Dove positioned themselves simultaneously with Palmolive, but positioned themselves as a soft oil, so softer one, so without the ages, and in general more premium for females and stuff like this. And here you can see like extraordinary experience. I'm head over the heels in Dove. All those slogans, right, that work. Rolls-Royce, I also put that in. All advertising you can clearly see. Avis, interesting. They positioned themselves like, we cannot afford to be second, so we have to clean the ashtrays deeper. So it's a full cleaning. Whereas our main competitor, who is the leader, they have them. So they played the up-and-comer leader card here. Then how-to guides were really popular as well as the lead magnets from old newspapers. It looks like the clear hero section, how to, and you can obviously get more if you read till the end and maybe approach them. They share their expertise and offer their services. And then here's a retail shop, and they give you the address. Yeah, interesting stuff. So timeless tips from OG of advertising, Hopkins. Sell like you're talking to a friend, test everything, use real data, be specific, numbers sell, use simple language, focus on benefits, not features, make a reward count, so use space, always tell people what to do next, so call to action. Really interesting, they even call it call to action. A bit of from Ogilvy. So also headlines are gold. As I said, he has this book that I recommended about headlines. 5 times people more read headlines than the text. Keep it simple, stupid, his phrase. Be specific, use real numbers again, and your customer isn't dumb. Don't treat them like they are. The consumer isn't a moron, she's your wife. Who's like, this is really brave, right? Then a framework from the Donald Miller. So it's again from a bit of mix with the grand test. So what are you offering, how it will make their life better, and what do you have to do to get it? So the real specific framework of Miller. which talks about, as I said, about the customer as a hero and you as a guide, and defines different points, right? So that they are a customer, a character who has a problem, then they meet the guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action, and then success, and then helps them to avoid the failure. This is like the way the websites or landing pages or advertising stories or your brand story should be built. So according to this framework, for example of Hunger Games, another example of Star Wars, Luke must defeat an empire. Is he a Jedi? So there's external, internal, philosophical question. He meets a mentor. He trusts the mechanisms. There is an action, and then there is a result. So yeah, clarify your message by creating a brand script. That's before you're coming up with the landing page, we create the brand script. And again, just about the grant test. Then using this framework, you can create your brand story, answering all those questions, creating the character, defining his problem, becoming a guide, understanding. And I will show you how to create this with Claude, how I did it myself, right? You can come up with a plan, and you can call them to action, and you can help them to avoid failure, so fear, and at the end you can guarantee a success. This is the story, the brand story that you should nail down before you create the landing page that converts. Now I would like to show you the exact process how I'm revamping my own website and what was behind my activities, right? The research and stuff like this. So I guess first I would like to show you the websites that I have analyzed. So it took me some time, but I picked competitors or another players from the industry on the right, and just good examples that I liked from various websites. And based by section, I checked them and identified stuff that I like in particular, and of course by industry. I analyzed as well all the industry players, kind of that are competing in the certain vertical, and defined each of their sections on the website. How do they use their attention of the prospect, and stuff like this, So this is the research that you should do. It goes over and over. I just don't want to bother you with that at the moment. Just conceptually, you have to understand that you can define for yourself what feels better to you, analyze, learn, and then work on the hero as well. I compared all the hero problems, long bullet description, hero with screenshot with the product. You see like hero with the segment options, testimonial and migration focus hero. And yeah, just various sections of the websites that I have analyzed before I have proceeded to building our own. And currently, the website that I want to rebuild is not for e-commerce, because this was actually I analyzed for the e-commerce software, but this is the deep research that I have done before. And now I'm doing the same for Swift. So this is the MVP website, and we're looking to revamp it. Yeah, it's an early stage project. We're making 12K MRR with it. I'm leading it from the ground up. So how I'm actually revamping the website, like this whole warm-up story, knowing the, of course, advertising, knowing like the structure of different websites here, knowing what I liked in the hero section, where I am starting. Let's go back to the basics, the frameworks that we spoke about. So I wrote, it's also actually here, but let's jump here. So this is the framework that I used before I come up with any copy for the website. I try to answer these questions, and pretty much I just inserted this screenshot to the ChatGPT. Then it didn't work out that well. It was kind of dull, and then I switched to Claude. And with Claude, I trained it for one day, and I defined like different documents, different journey as well. And so yeah, with Claude, I just imported it here, and before I already worked on some section. So I used this template, B2B SaaS template by Dylan. Also Dylan, a great marketer. So I just imported this website first, created the copy with ChatGPT. I uploaded this copy to Miro first. So it took me one day. So so that's how it looked. First, I uploaded this section, this template, defined myself with ChatGPT the sections, the headlines, defined the copy. But then obviously I was like, okay, it's not satisfying enough. I start to build the brand book. So I answered all these questions with Clouda, and I also like uploaded this copy that I have written, my initial copy, because we didn't have the marketing book, nothing like that. So I just used those frameworks to create them. So I just like uploaded it here, as you can see, tick, 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 then tick, 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 couple, here a section, tick, tick, tick. Okay, here, the framework, the questions, and I start answering, ting, 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 and I start adjusting it so I can speak to it maybe for 2 days straight. It will be really nailed down the positioning. So, and I came up with the answers. I came up with killers features, with categories, use cases to focus on, capabilities for sharing, and all the terminology, acronyms as well. It gave me really good acronyms, by the way, rather regulatory AI-driven analysis and reporting. This one we're going to use. Metaphors, so brand aesthetics, GDPR, la, 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 la. So it's the full list. First, I start with product marketing. Again, defining what to say and who to say it to. Then copywriting. So with Cloud, I tailored each question tick, 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 tick. Then only I went on this section, tick, 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 with Clouda. And again, just aligned, adjusted the language, and defined two versions of the website. Primary version based on the journey as well, and the comprehensive other version. And then also I used a third example of the template of Dylan and inserted it into Cloud as well. And I said, see, it was like work. I was fine tuning it, chatting with it, chatting, defining the story. Then I was uploading again, and it's like, okay, Swiffy analysis summary for each of the section, product marketing, copywriting. I was creating separate document. That's why it's better than ChatGPT, because ChatGPT gets like just a text, and it's like tons of text, right? So with Clouda, you can create separate document for each of the stages and then utilize it later on. Tuck. And then after I already created this storybook based on the framework of Miller, I just imported the Dylan's template, and we created the new. So I got 3 versions of the website, just like that. So I suggest you do this as well. Of course, there is Fletch PM. It's it's a very great website. So it's the actual company that fixes positioning on the websites, and you can check their before and after. Let's say Slim AI, before and after, where they compare them side by side. Before, after, what what changed, and they go section by section. You can learn a lot of here. There's also content library where they show various frameworks. But just going through this, like Lemlist, for example, just going through this side by side before and after, you can understand a lot of things and see for yourself. So combining the storybook, story brand workbook, so storybook, some research, Fletch PPM frameworks. Yeah, I also put like some examples here. Yeah. So this is something to read, but it's like the full presentation of this story brand online course, also based on the Miller's frameworks. But answering deeply those questions with AI, chatting on top, you could get those killer copy with killer styles that would effectively convert later on. And also, there are 4 different templates according to these guys, exactly, Fletch guys. So the how-to, the networker, the differentiator, and the channel challenger. So look, when to use Loom. You have a simple but novel product geared towards the end user. The framework, the one that they suggest, the how-to, right? So you're a horizontal product and you're targeting several personas, Calendly, the networker. So the best way to, here's how sales, here's how marketing, then the differentiator, new kind of, and the challenger, combining this and that, multi-product company, mature one. rippling. So depending on your, of course, case, you could pick the framework, you could compare before and after. All of them, there's differentiators here, there's competitors, there's simple products as well on this website. And then with Cloud, again, just literally type to Cloud like April Danforth positioning key summaries, right? Let's see if it's coming. Okay, we should focus on the following key elements. Okay, so it goes, you see, it already tailors and aligns based on the concept. A positioning statement for fintech companies looking to scale rapidly, la la la. Okay, let's say Miller and Daniel storybook, brand story, but even I write storybook, okay, story brand, yeah. You see, it creates again, and it creates for Swiffy my storybook with all the use cases, advantages that I could use later on in my copy. So I think this is really great way for you to quickly, let's say, create the converting copy. And again, Upside Down website GTM strategy for horizontal products. I also put it here. This is from Fletch. Of course, it's one of their templates. How you can like differentiate persona and use cases, and the difference between homepage and the actual convertible page here. And they give you nice colors and stuff like this. So you could really grasp quickly where to position which part. So I hope this was really, really educational. I'm just revamping it myself, this website. So as you can see, I have in Notion here defined different landing pages. We already selected some. We got some use cases, got some acronyms, got like direct sections that we will integrate. So check some results in a week, or let's see when we're going to deploy, going to Valencia tomorrow. But I hope it was really fruitful, and see you in the next one.